Hello YouTube and anybody who's ever going to see this video. This is your girl T coming from T's Corner. Home alone, feel like sharing, wanted to talk to the camera. So that's what I'm doing. And today I want to talk about a disorder that I think I created in my head. And then I diagnosed myself with. It's called fanatic OCD. It's like OCD but on a totally different level. It may be real, I don't know. I just came up with it to explain my behavior. Fanatic OCD for me is when I just get so engulfed in an artist that I have to absorb everything they've ever done. And I do this quite often, even though I'm a single parent who works like a mad woman and goes to college full time. I still find time to, feed my habit of fanatic OCD. So in April, I think it was, I actually had 3 consecutive days off from everything except parenting, because of course there are no days off. And so I said, I'm going to binge on something. And all of my shows I was caught up on, so I'm going to binge on something new. So that something new was Kerry Washington and Scandal. Now, I had been aware of Scandal since its inception, but I'd never been a fan and I never watched. They're like, my family members, some were into it. My mother was a fanatic. And when visiting her, I would see bits and pieces if she were watching it. And I took an immediate dislike to Fitz. So, not an Olitzer at all. Seemed like every scene that I ever walked into when she was watching Scandal, they were about to or just finished having crazy sex or actually in the midst of having crazy sex, and then he would say something ignorant to her and I'd just be like, really? So yeah, not an Olitzer. Didn't like Fitz. Like him a little more now, but still not an Olitzer. Do not want to see Olivia and Fitz together. No. So anyway, I digress. I started watching, because I'm going to binge, so I go all the way back to Netflix, Season 1, Episode 1. I watched the pilot, and I'm not hooked. It wasn't really that immediate pull me in, and I can't wait to see what happens in Episode 2. But I had questions. And because I had questions, I knew I had to watch the next episode to answer those questions. So I went through the pilot and the first 6 episodes of Season 1 that way. Not completely pulled in, but intrigued enough to have questions and want to have those questions answered. So I watched Season 2. About midway through Season 2, I officially coined myself a gladiator because I was hooked. And just watching Kerry Washington does something that I never paid attention to before in anything else that I'd seen her in. And then when I go back and I look at her other work and her filmography, she's always done it, but I've just never paid attention to it before. But she is an actor who can carry a scene or make you feel or understand the line that precedes the moment or whatever. Like, her nonverbal acting is amazing. And I guess I would liken it to that of Nicole Beharie. Now, of course, Kerry had a career professionally before Nicole, but I was a fan of Nicole's before I became a fan of Kerry. So that's why I say I would liken it to Nicole Beharie. When I watch Nicole Beharie, her nonverbal acting, just her cues, her facial expressions, is just, it sells it for me. It really does. And in watching Kerry Washington, with the same thing, her mannerisms, just the expression in her eyes. I mean, she just carries it and she sells it. I'm like, all of these steamy love scenes that she's done in film and on Scandal, I'm like, they're not that hot. They would not be believable if it weren't for Kerry's face. She sells it. She is A1 in her craft, I'm finding out. And so after I got hooked and became a gladiator, I watched the first 4 seasons on Netflix. And then I try to find season 5 on YouTube or Hulu. And because Hulu only keeps a certain number sometimes of episodes available for streaming, the first 9 episodes of season 5 were not available. Now, as I said, I have fanatic OCD, which is sort of like a narcotics addiction for me. And once I am in my zone and I'm buzzing, which is my term for it, then I have to have that next hit. It's like I have got to have it. Not healthy, not normal. I know. It is what it is. So I'm like, I gotta find these first 9 episodes of Scandal season 5. So I go to YouTube and I find them. And they're $2 an episode, which is nothing. Except if you're me. Because I am the most frugal, cheap person you could ever want to meet. I hate to spend money. I detest it. I love new things. Buying shoes is a must. But I still hate to spend the money. Even when it's for me. But I was so hooked and just so had to see what happened in season 5 that I actually purchased the first 9 episodes of Scandal season 5 from YouTube. And like I said, for me, that's a big deal because people who know me know I hate to spend money. And so I watched, and then by that time I'm caught up with Scandal Thursdays, and I finish out the season during regular airtime on network television. And I was just intrigued. So after I watched the entire 5 seasons of Scandal in 3 days, or was at least caught up, and I had a couple, more episodes to go before the season finale, I said I have to see more by Kerry Washington. I have to. Now, I had seen Django Unchained, and I'd seen bits and pieces of Ray. Ironically enough, I'm a music nut, love Ray Charles. I've never watched the entire movie, and I still haven't. But I've seen clips of her performances, and I was like, yeah, she's selling it. She's doing that amazing, I'm like an A+ actor, Kerry Washington thing that she has now, to me, become known for. And so I went to International Movie Database and found her filmography, and then found all these movies that were listed, and then I went and watched them in different platforms and buying stuff online and all that good stuff. And I was just really intrigued with her craft. I was just amazed. I'm like, how have I slept on this woman for all this time? I should have been a fan from Our Song. I should have been a fan then, and it should have carried through, because most of the things that everyone has seen her in, I never watched. Like, Save the Last Dance is a big deal that I never watched. When it came out, it didn't intrigue me. I was like, eh. So I never saw it. And I honestly saw Save the Last Dance for the first time in April of 2016. And like I said, I still haven't seen Ray. I'll watch it eventually. I've seen like bits and pieces. I come into the room and somebody's watching the DVD, sit down, watch it, get up and do something else. So if I probably put all the pieces together, I've probably seen a good hour of it, but I've never seen the whole movie. But her portrayal of Della B, her portrayal of Kay Amin, just like, dude. And I'm like, it's, for me as a fan and a consumer, it's something totally different when you have to portray a person who is alive, or who was alive, because people who know them, they know their story. And so you have to be true to that character, but it's not a character anymore. It's an actual person. So if you can pull that off, then I'm, enamored with it. And she pulled it off. And then some things that just normally wouldn't be things that I would be interested in, like She Hate Me or Life is Hot in Cracktown. If I saw the previews, I'm like, yeah, okay, next. And I wouldn't have watched it. And so I said, being that I'm in fanatic mode, then I have to be true to what my fanatic OCD is, and that is to absorb everything. So I have to watch these. And so I purchased She Hate Me on Voodoo, however you say it. Probably something demonic. But anyway, and I watched it because I said, well, Kerry's an amazing actress. And even though Spike Lee is always out of the box and in left field, I've never been disappointed with any work of his that I've seen. Now, I haven't seen everything he's ever done, but I've seen a lot of it, and I've never been disappointed. So I said, I'm going to have to watch She Hate Me because it's probably good. And I was right, and it was good. It was a good movie. And it's like, if you are open-minded enough to get past the homosexual sex, which for me is also speaking volumes, because I'm not always that open-minded. I have grown over the years, but I have not always been, and my best friend who is homosexual could attest to that. But I watched it, and it was just generally a good film. Now, I have yet to see Life is Hot in Cracktown, but just the clips I've seen in the previews, that whole movie just looks like it's on fire. So I have that coming in the mail by Netflix DVD. Should be here this week, hopefully. But I just felt like, how are you missing this talented woman in your, fan repertoire? How do you not know that she is this amazing until now? She's been acting for years, and you're just now getting on board this train. You should have been on it. You claim to be, all of this as far as entertainment, and, I'm a critic of everything. So to not know that this woman is such a phenomenal actress, it kind of blew me away. I was like, you have really been sleeping. And so every movie that I watched, and I had to rewatch a lot of things because I'd seen these films and didn't remember she was in them. So when I was going through her International Movie Database filmography, and I was seeing these movies, I was like, I saw that. Didn't remember Kerry Washington being in it. So I had to go back and rewatch. And then I figured it out. Yes, I had slept on Kerry Washington. That, no excuse, but I had. But the thing that really got me, that was a revelation, was that it wasn't that I slept on her because I didn't realize her talent. It was just that I lost her in the character because she's that good. She's so good that you forget it's Kerry Washington and you only see the character. And then you have to go back and actually look or replay it in your mind to say, oh yeah, she played that. Because, just watching stuff, you don't equate her with it. And then I'm like, she can do so much. She does the voices, she does the accents, she can do Hood Chick Chanel, or she can do Olivia Pope. She can play it on either spectrum, and not everybody can. And I just am amazed with her talent. So I am now a Kerry Washington fanatic. I'm a Scandal gladiator. And I just think she's great, and I'm trying to see everything that she's ever done. And I mean, even including, like, what is it, Taking a Trip on the A Train or something like that, some short film that she did in Woman in Burqa. I mean, just anything that she does, she kills it. She just like nails it. And I'm like, how are you clicking on all cylinders like that all the time? And it's 2016, and I'm just now getting on board this train. I am ashamed of myself claiming that I'm a fan of good entertainment. I should have been on this train, but I'm on it now. So I just wanted to say that because I felt like sharing. I just wanted to say that Kerry Washington is absolutely awesome. And if you don't know, then you should check out her filmography because she is awesome. And she does a lot of awesome stuff too. And she's smart. And that's really impressive. She's smart. And I don't mean like common sense smart. I mean, I'm sure she's common sense smart too, but she's also book smart, which is impressive because you don't always get that in Hollywood. I listen to some people's interviews and I'm like, really? So I'm glad that she doesn't come across as airhead Hollywood type. And that's my door, so hold on a second. Okay, pardon the interruption. It lasted about 20 minutes, so I forgot what I was saying. But anyway, I know what I was saying. I was saying how smart Kerry Washington actually is. And she's involved in politics, and she's involved in charities, and she's doing some good work. So you can look that up, check her out. She's spokeswoman for nail polish and Movado watches and skincare, and the Purple Purse, which is financially empowering women who are in abusive situations and giving them the ability to walk away from those situations. And that's good stuff. Though I don't know if I'll be buying a $350 purse, it's still good stuff. She was big in her campaign for President Obama, and now she is big in the campaign for Hillary Clinton. And I'm just impressed with her brain. So she's smart. She's a great actress. She seems like a cool person. I bet if we met, we'd probably hit it off. So that's what I felt like ranting about today. The amazing Kerry Washington. And if you don't know her work, you should really check it out.